I gave my sister one warning and she didn't take it seriously. The first time she interfered, I let it go. 8 months ago, she texted my boyfriend Marcus out of nowhere telling him I'd been talking to my ex. I hadn't been talking to my ex. I'd run into him at a grocery store and texted my friend about it, and somehow Nadia had seen it and drawn her own conclusions and decided Marcus needed to know immediately. Marcus and I had our worst fight in 2 years over something that never happened. When I confronted Nadia, she said she was just looking out for him. I told her if she ever went behind my back to Marcus again, I would cut her off completely. She cried and said she understood, and I believed her because I wanted to. Marcus and I got through it, but something shifted after that, this small seed of doubt that Nadia had planted, and I watched Marcus pull back slightly in ways I couldn't quite name for months. We got back to solid ground eventually. I thought it was over. My sister Nadia has always believed she knows better than everyone around her. Growing up, it was harmless, annoying opinions about clothes and friends and music. In our 20s, it got sharper. She'd insert herself into situations she had no business being in and then act confused when people were hurt by it. I'd spent years managing it. I thought the warning had finally made it real for her. 3 weeks ago, Marcus started acting distant again. Not fighting, just quiet. Coming home later than usual, shorter with his answers, sitting with something he wasn't saying. I asked him twice if everything was okay, and he said yes both times. On the third time, I told him I could feel something was wrong, and I needed him to just say it. He showed me a message. Nadia had contacted him again. This time she'd told him she'd seen me getting into a car with a man she didn't recognize outside my office 2 weeks ago. She'd included a photo she'd taken on her phone. It was my colleague David who'd given me a ride because my car was in the shop. A colleague Marcus had met twice at work events. Nadia had packaged it into a neat little text with a question mark at the end and sent it without saying a word to me. I called her standing in the kitchen with Marcus right there. She picked up and said hello like it was a normal day. I asked her what she'd sent Marcus. She paused for just a second, then said she'd been worried and thought he deserved to know. I asked her if she remembered what I told her 8 months ago. She said this was different because she'd actually seen something this time. I told her she'd seen my colleague. She said she didn't know that. I said she could have asked me. She said she didn't want to upset me. I told her she'd rather blow up my relationship than have an uncomfortable conversation with me. She went quiet. Marcus was watching me from across the kitchen. I told Nadia she was done. No more key to my apartment. No more family dinners where she sat across from my boyfriend. No more access to anything in my life until I decided otherwise. She started crying immediately and said she was just trying to protect him from being hurt. I said she'd never once tried to protect me. I hung up. My mom called within the hour. Nadia had beaten me to it. My mom said Nadia meant well and I was overreacting and that I'd regret cutting off my sister over a misunderstanding. I told her it wasn't a misunderstanding. It was the second time, and I'd given a warning she hadn't taken seriously. My mom said I was too harsh. I told her someone had to be. Marcus and I talked for a long time that night. He said he hadn't believed it, but it had still gotten in his head and he hated that it had. I told him that was exactly what Nadia counted on. He held my hand across the table and didn't let go. Nadia texted me 4 days later saying she was sorry and she loved me. I read it and put my phone down. I haven't responded. Now I'm stuck wondering if I'm the asshole.